Well, if you're listening to Hormozi, his tip number 5 is start free, collect proof, build confidence, earn referrals, and then charge. Free isn't losing money if done right. It's an investment in data, testimonials, and momentum.
Yes. So I think for some people, free is like a trigger word. It's like, no, I've been working for free for so long. So there's definitely like a system and a method if you're going to use this tip on starting for free. So today you're going to be able to basically find out why starting for free can help you make money if you don't have any money at all coming in. Some of you on here don't, or and how these free clients can help you grow. But again, if you're following this correct process. And then also, what does free look like in the different levels of business that you're in? Because it's different for everybody. The free offer that we recommend for client A is totally different than what you should do for free for client B. So it really depends on where you're at in your business level, and we'll cover that today. And we're going to show you exactly how starting free can help grow your business and give you, like what I said, like proof. You're going to get referrals, right? Referrals is like basically like added on proof and early traction in your business. And we'll show how you can also create those I want to say risk free, but there's always risk in business. So I hate using that word risk free because you're running a business. You kind of like have almost all the risk because you have a business.
Yeah.
And so we're going to cover those today.
Okay, so kind of looping back to everything we've said here, the idea is that free gives you proof and ultimately confidence. And this is confidence for yourself in your own abilities if you're brand new, but also confidence to the person who is purchasing from you, right? Because they get to see what it is that you are capable of. And I will admit, I am one of those people who is triggered by the word free, partially because I worked for almost a year for free. Little known fact. It was a long time ago. And it was with the promise of money once I mastered a skill. But there was no parameters put in place of what mastering that skill would look like. And I for sure had it to a point where I should have been being paid. So there's definitely a right and a wrong way to be doing this. And so I hope you guys don't all go out there and start working for a year for free. I actually had a really interesting experience with free yesterday that I'm going to share with you, and it's not one of our clients. It was in the wild. Somebody who I met through Alex Hormozi's coaching program offered a free audit of your Hyros account, no strings attached. He was a Hyros expert. He's somebody who has been working for Hyros for a really long time. And for those of you who don't know what Hyros is, it's a software that helps you track the way your ad dollars are being spent so that you can make smarter decisions about how to spend in the future. And there are a ton of nuances when it comes to Hyros. I am actually Hyros certified. I've taken all of the training that's available through Hyros, and there still are quite a few features that have pieces that I don't understand. So when I saw that there was a free Hyros audit offered, I took advantage of it because the more our data and our information is accurate, the better the experience is for our client, right? And the thing about this free audit, first of all, it really does need to be with no strings attached. He didn't get on the call and say to me, hey, this is free if you pay me $29.99 to get started, right? We jumped right in, got through the free audit. And during that free audit, he was definitely helping me identify areas that were not working properly with our Hyros. He even fixed some of them. And then we talked through during the call some larger strategies that could be implemented to ultimately make Hyros be even better, right? And so I left that call, first of all, the way he navigated and shared screen and was able to show me the connections. I immediately knew he knew what he was talking about. And that's because I've worked with a lot of people with Hyros who tell me they know what they're doing and then they don't know where to go when they get into the system. But the way that he like navigated it with ease, He also had thought of things that I had either not been told in previous onboarding calls or had not seen in the training material. So I knew he understood it more than just a basic level, which is what everybody else who I had worked with was. So the reality is, at the end of it, then he obviously pitched a bigger offer. It wasn't required to take the steps that were necessary for that call. And it built upon that larger strategy that he had presented to me. And proof sells, and free lets you get it fast. If he had charged me for that audit, I may not have gotten on the call, right? But because it was free, I didn't even think twice about booking the call. And he is definitely somebody who I would refer if people were having issues with setting up their Hyros account, right? So whether we end up working with him is kind of irrelevant too, because he has somebody who will refer him as a, you know, a potential person. And he's just building that group of raving fans who are going to be people who are like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, for sure. And so, um, if you're thinking about doing that, because you're like, okay, maybe I should start doing free audits in my business. Just to recap, you have to have an audit that's like super valuable to that person. So, what Greta mentioned was that he provided value straight away, right? It was as if you're providing free services, as if they paid you your full amount times two, then doing free is good. If you get on and you're not providing any value, you'll be able to tell. So I think, Greta, like coming out of that too is collect your own data over free audits. So try free audits for a month, try doing 20 of them, and see if people end up referring you to other people or upgrade. If not, you need to go back and you need to review how valuable your audit is and ask them. People are more willing to give you feedback than you think at the end of this, of like, hey, how valuable? Like, if I were to pay for this, if you were to pay for this and, you know, something like this, would you have paid? And if so, like, what dollar amount would you pay? So do it, but also, like, you know how people want what's in it for them? Like, get what's in it for you out of it too. So you're going to get data, you're going to get market research, you're going to get, like, if you're like, for instance, we advise a lot of people to do this when they don't know which product to service. Like, a lot of people come to us and are like, well, I don't know which offer. I have 100,000 offers that I want to do. Okay, like, let's start with 2 and let's see which one people think is the most valuable one in your free audit or whatever it is. So then, like Greta had mentioned, like, okay, this creates referrals. So that's our second point, is when you're doing things for free. I love the book Go for No. If you haven't read it, definitely go and read it. But that basically, like, ask for the referral. Ask, like, hey, Greta, like, it seemed like you really enjoyed, like, do you know anyone else who uses Hyros? Like, if that would have been a simple question that he could have just asked. Like, usually people who are in the, like, know other people, or they'll say, like, people believe more of what they say than what you say. So meaning, if Greta was to respond and say, hey, I don't know anybody, but if I come across anybody, I'll definitely refer them to you. Instead of saying, hey, Greta, if you know anybody who's interested in Hyros, can you send them my way? It's more powerful if you have them say that versus you. They retain it, they have the belief in it, and people don't want to go back on their word, right? Honest people, which is who you want, don't want to go back on their word. So it's going to get you that, and it's like free quote unquote marketing. So if you don't have any marketing dollars, this is a great way to start. People are like, there's no risk for them on the sense of like, oh, I'll spend, like, yes, there's time, but it's like, hey, let me see what this person's about. So I don't have, I do. Well, I mean, yesterday a client asked us for referrals, but we weren't actually very clear on their offer. So then it was like, we need to set up another meeting. So I think, okay, so a lesson here is, if you're going to ask, like, for that person that spoke to us, it would be like, before I hop on with people, I need to be super, super clear about my avatar and who I'm serving and what type of clients I'm looking for right now. Right? So, like, very, very clearly, me and Greta, you come to us because you want to launch ads in your business, right? And you're super ad curious and you don't want to pay high ad agency fees. And we can show you how to do it without hiring an ad agency. So, we are very, very clear. So, I think that's the main thing is like, know what desire you want to come from the outcome. So, if you're going to ask for the referral, basically the question back is going to be, which Greta and I asked yesterday was, okay, well, what is the offer, or like what are the types of referrals that you're looking for right now? And so be very, very clear, because people need to, you can't just be like any business owner. Like they have like thousands of business owners. Like they're not going to refer you to thousands, but if you can narrow it down to like, okay, I'm looking to bring on 10 people who really want this outcome in their business. Be super specific about that, then they can start envisioning people who they're going to refer to you. Like, oh, I have so and so who does this business. Is that a client? Like, then they'll start asking you questions. And like, when they start asking you questions, that's when you know you're like getting them in. And we're going to go to the next tip Greta's going to share here in a little bit. But another thing that you can do for free is like, let's say for paid services. So let's say if you say, hey, if you refer me 5 people for a free audit that come through and they book with me, I would be happy to give you a discount on whatever services, right? So like if you do like this, like, hey, Greta, there's so much more that we could talk about with Hyros. Like I'd love to give you like another, like another session on this, because like usually you're finding another pain point. And if you know this about Hormozi, the best time to sell is the greatest deprivation pain point. And
Yeah.
so it seems like this is a struggle in your business with this data. I'd love to dig in a little more on you with that. And so if you can send me X amount of referrals, then I'd love to, hop on with you to that. Okay. You have to be super confident in yourself when you're doing that. But this, like Greta said at the beginning, this creates confidence for those people who are like, and most of you, be honest, most of you like aren't that good at selling your own thing. Greta and I aren't that good at selling our own thing. Is like you need the confidence in yourself to build that.
Yes.
So like you need the belief in yourself. And so doing it for free, like Greta said at the beginning, is that builds that confidence in being like, okay, I have the proof now. A lot of times, Greta, when we tell our clients to do this, it's not because their clients need the proof, honestly. Because Greta and I are like, we could go sell your product right now. But I need you to have the proof in yourself when they come to you and we sell the damn thing. That's what I need from you. And so a lot of times, this is what Greta and I are doing with our clients to get them.
Yeah, we're like proving it to them.
Yeah, for sure. So,
For
referral.
Sure. Okay, point 3, free clients often become paying clients. And so whether it's a free audit that you're doing, or in my mind, sometimes it's going above and beyond, which is the story I'm about to share with you, or it's offering a piece of your, bigger offer. So a free masterclass would be an example of how free clients often become paying clients. If you have a really high value free masterclass, people may buy from you because they have that confidence. They can see the transformation you're going to provide, and you've given them things that they can action right then. But the bottom line is if you do great work for free, people won't want to lose you. And so at Bringing Simplicity, we had this experience happen just recently. And it honestly is one of the foundational elements in what we believe at Bringing Simplicity. And that is that we deliver more than what is expected of us as just a core value. It's not even to like get the paying client. It's because we believe that every person who works with our company deserves a high level of care, right? And so we recently had a situation where one of our clients was having an issue with accessing their DNS records for their website. And they had previously worked with a different PR company that set up their website and ultimately owned their DNS. Well, it was almost a month of continuously emailing these people to try to get access to it for the client. And we finally received a response back, and we're told that the DNS was going to be shut down that night For those of you who don't know what a DNS is, it's basically the thing that makes your website work. It's what tells Google where to send visitors. And so like this is a really big deal for people who have spent money to get a website, right? And it was not my job to get that website moved. But I also knew that by getting that website moved efficiently and quickly, that it would bode well for the person. It would also facilitate us moving forward with the project we were working on quicker, right, than having to rebuild an entire website. And it just gave them more trust and belief in who we were at Bringing Simplicity, that when we say we're going to do or accomplish something, not only are we going to do or accomplish, we're going to go above and beyond because it's at the foundation of who we are and what we do here. And so ultimately, that person's already purchased a package with us. They probably aren't going to want to let us go. Most of our clients keep us for a really long time. So they're not going to want to let us go. And they're willing to refer us to other people because they're like, man, you guys really care. Like, not only do you streamline the process for us, but you pick up the pieces in places that aren't your responsibility. And so free builds demand. It shows people that you are committed to them and the results that you tell them that you're trying to get. And so when you flip the switch to paid, the people who are your ideal customers are going to see just how committed you are, and they're going to stay, and they're going to pay, and they're going to refer you to others unless they want to keep you all to themselves, which happens sometimes too, because it's so hard to find people who do good work.
Yes, and if you find those people, keep them. Because if not, Greta and I will try to come steal them. Yes, absolutely. And then again, just so everybody who's listening to this or watching this, is Greta made some really good points of, you're gonna like wow them. Like, you want to wow them, over deliver for them in any way, shape, or form that you can. And the best way to do that is to do something that they didn't pay you to do. So think about that, right? So like, I'm thinking like a services company, right? Like if you go and you get like a lot of service companies do, like if you go and you get your tires changed at a tire shop, like usually they'll do like something extra where it's like, oh, we topped off your oil for you, right? And we did this and we switched out your windshield, like things that aren't gonna like cost, but like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna remember that. Like I'm gonna come back because like they did that. Like I didn't have to worry about that. Right? And they usually give you like a discount for like coming back a next time or whatever. So do that, and then make sure that they're aware of it too. I think a lot of times people do things and like we make the point. I usually make the point to be like they'll be like, oh, why, for instance, it was perfect. I mean, and I think like the universe, God rewards us in so many ways. They're like, well, where are we at with, like, it was like I had a call with them the next day. We were doing things like building their offer. They said, well, where are we at with this? Or like, can I do this? And I said, oh, we had to push that off because of the emergency that we had to take care of for your it would have been horrible if like somebody would have logged in and your website would have been completely like obsolete. And he was like, oh yeah, thank you so much for, like, get them to say how amazing you are. The more you can get them to rave about you and say it to you, the more it's more natural for them to then again refer you or say that out loud to everyone else, and you're going to increase longevity of this client and referrals forever. So once you've mastered free, you've started and you've mastered it. We teach you in our programs, if you want to work with us, but we teach you how to master free. Like Greta said, through master classes, through, all the things that you do for free. So once you have that, you have proof. And proof beats promise, which is the next tip that we're going to share next week. And proof over promise every time, how, like, basically the secret to selling more. This is basically going to create that, like, catalyst for you to be able to sell more of your offers. So we can't wait to see y'all next week.
See you next week.